Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time tonight here in Madison Square Garden, we get to wrap up today's action from the Legend Showcase, or the Legends Showcase, excuse me. This day has been full of incredibly fun games, and none of them disappointed, and all have been a joy to watch as these teams have warmed back up for the near and incoming 2035 to 2036 season, as we turn the leaf into a new era. And quite funny enough, I'd say for us to have Pitt and UNLV be a part of the showcase is a good indicator of this new era, because, well, these two teams haven't had a coach either in a long time, or they haven't had one ever in Legends. So it's good to see, and we'll see how these teams look. I'm not very optimistic about their March Madness tournament chances, but hey, at the very least, they'll get to duke it out here for some TV time. Hello, everybody. I'm once again your play-by-play commentator for this one, Commissioner Daniel. The All-American point guard, LSW Commissioner Pike, has logged off for the night, though. So instead of him, here with me is, I would say, the most electrifying man in all of, I would say media business, but I don't know. If you want to put a different label on yourself, you sure can, Mr. Killian.
I wouldn't say elite, media poster, but we're gonna get back into that here soon. But it's great to be back. It's been a long off season, but we're starting to get it rolling back, starting to get the gears grinding, and it's a good game to end the night with Pitt as two actually first year head coaches for the game to end the night. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams go here tonight.
Oh, for sure. And like I said, it's the dawn of a new era, especially when you see the teams like this be involved in the showcase, where you usually see the bigger brands reign supreme and take the spotlight. Now, I'm not saying that these two are going to steal any spotlight, but at the very least they get some of it. And for a program like UNLV that was once extremely proud and still is proud of their history, I mean, it takes somebody to want to bring them back, and Marvin Madden Sr. is someone that is stepping up to the plate for this one. And meanwhile for Pitt, it's Bob Johns that's trying to do the job at Pitt, and this signifies the official start of their road to glories, if I may call it that. But what are your overall takes on these two teams as you see them on paper?
You got to look at the front court. You got to look at the number one position. That's point guard for both guys. Or for both teams, and that they're both a fifth-year grad senior with UNLV with Oliver Batts, and for Pitt it's Elijah Jamison, and those two guys are going to be probably the guys to look at here tonight, and going to be the most impactful here tonight for both teams.
I definitely agree. I think that the value of a good front court is immense, but we also need to see who ultimately has the better guard play, and that's where I kind of lean towards Pitt. But we'll see how this one unfolds, as we are ready to finally get going here for the last time tonight in MSG. We will be back for another count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games tomorrow. That will start at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, and I'll talk about that later on throughout this game as it goes on. But we are indeed ready to finally get going, and let's do this. As we can see from the overhead view, Pitt's wearing their all blues. UNLV is going with the all reds. Daniel Ramsey and Cameron Edwards kind of on the spotlight there for Pitt. Jevin Muniz and Elijah Jamison in the backcourt. Mike Whalen, Daniel Ramsey, and Luke Schaefer in the front court. Oliver Batts and honestly kind of... See, this is the problem. This is the problem. First of all, it's late. Second of all, I still got to learn these rosters. But I can finish it off. Isaiah Shaw and Oliver Batts are in the backcourt. And then up front, it's Ethan Speaker, Cameron Edwards, and try not to help me on this one. It is... I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. I think it's Isaiah Simmons. Right?
For what position? What team?
For UNLV. Like, small forward or... Yeah, small forward. It's Isaiah Simmons, right?
No, it's James Simmons.
Okay, so I got the first name wrong. Okay. Isaiah Simmons is an IRL football player. What am I talking about?
Hey, it's been a long day. I'll cut you some slack. You'll get it back, and there's a nice steal for UNLV.
Yep, indeed. Oliver Batts is now the lead point guard for this team. Big three ball right there by him.
Dang.
Yeah, grad transferred from Ohio State. He didn't really play much there at all, if anything. And a steal comes up empty right there, though. Yeah, dude, it has been indeed a long day. And somehow, in the middle of all of it, we probably got the funniest, most outrageous game I have seen in a long time. So, there's that to it as well.
That game was atrocious. I can't believe somebody spend $50 to go to that game, and you just absolutely see two McQueen brothers play on the court, and you just want your money back.
It's begging for refunds from the peanut guy or the beer guy. Hey, I want a refund. No, man, I'm just delivering beers. What you talking about? That's how bad it was. Anyways, here's UNLV trying to attack quickly, and they lose the ball. Look at this. Here comes Luke Schaefer. Big dunk.
Wow. Big dunk for Pitt there, and, this game is going to be back and forth. It's going to be aggressive defense for both teams. It's just a wild shot to go there, but rebound there for Pitt.
Indeed, it was a wild shot attempt right there. These teams are going to be galloping up and down the court. Simply put, they want to get shots up. They're going to be doing it. I don't think they're going to be all that good in terms of the quality, but they're going to get shots up. That's an interesting pass that somehow found its way to Oliver Batts as Daniel Ramsey, the transfer from Indiana State, picks up his first foul.
The question is for... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, the question is for both of these teams. I mean, what are you looking forward to during the season as you're a first-year head coach for both teams? And, I mean, I know the ultimate goal is to win a national championship, but you also got to look at the realistic pathway for both teams. I mean, what do you think it is for both these teams?
I mean, simply put, it's to just get your feet wet, as that's not Kevin Kruger. That's supposed to be Marvin Madden Sr. The graphics team. Hey, no peanut butter crackers for y'all. You forgot to update the names. Unbelievable. Anywho, it's just about getting their feet wet. I mean, with Pitt, they're in a loaded ACC conference. Barring some sort of miracle, I just do not see this team making March Madness. But they'll at least be a tough out and be a challenge for anyone that plays them. Ooh. And one opportunity for Jevin Muniz, the grad transfer from Delaware State. For UNLV, there could be a road to March, but they're going to need to see a lot of growth from the young guys that they have brought in. They got a lot of freshmen on that team. And they're in a Mountain West that's actually not that bad. Of course, the top of the food chain is New Mexico. There was only one season where that wasn't the case, but you have other teams like San Diego State and Boise State that are good. Utah State looks all right as well. So there's competition there. I just don't see a clear avenue for either of these teams to make March, but if they overperform, then yeah, there's definitely a chance. As Oliver Batts is working with 5 seconds only on the shot clock, and he's near midcourt.
He was going to take a deep three. He wanted to.
I have no idea what he was thinking. Honestly, he represents me at 2:30 in the morning. I understand it. That three ball doesn't go for Whalen.
He just wants to get this game done and over with.
I hope that's not the case because, I mean, in terms of TV time... excuse me?
Oh, my God.
Excuse me, Ethan Speaker?
Holy moly.
Well, that's the dunk of the night. I mean, you know, this is why we present TV opportunities to these teams that probably won't make March Madness because how else would have we seen that? I don't know. That was crazy.
But I mean, if these teams really want to try to make March Madness, and they have a good record, you know, finish maybe above 500, could be at 500, but it comes down to if the committee is going to look at their strength of schedule and how they are respected as during the season.
Problem is, I think for both, they both have very challenging schedules. So even though the quality is going to be there, that's a good shot. Even though the quality is going to be there, I don't know how many of those they win. I don't really see a whole bunch of good results for them. Like, okay, maybe some moral victories where they only lose by like single digits to a top team or something, but I just don't see it getting any better than that. And that's not necessarily a dig at them. I think both teams have some, you know, have a future.
God.
That's a dude. This James Simmons guy is just jumping out the gym. Good grief. But back what I was saying, you know, like moral victories don't improve your resume. So they will have to win these games, and they're going to have to play at a level that they are not predicted to be able to play at. So chances are there, but they're super low, in my opinion. Corner three. Almost for Isaiah Shaw, who transferred from Grand Canyon. Here's Mike Whalen. Probably has the most amount of testosterone amongst everybody on the court right now. Look at that big bald head of his, you know.
Looking like Mr. Clean out there.
Oh, man. You know, hopefully that's something Pitt is able to provide him. You know, a good NIL deal with Mr. Clean. It's fitting. So good little take right there by Daniel Ramsey. That kid I expect to be a baller for this team. Him and Luke Schaefer are gonna do great work for them. I don't know how much they're gonna win, but they're at least gonna look good playing. And that's Cameron Edwards with an and one opportunity.
For UNLV and their first year head coach, do they pose a threat to? I mean, would you consider San Diego State the top dog of the Mountain West?
New Mexico is the top dog by far. San Diego State is second, but if I were to try and tell you what the distance is between second and third compared to first and second, I think it is a wider gap between first and second than it is second and third. Like, that's how good New Mexico is in the Mountain West. So, that's my take on it. No, that's a blocking foul, it appears, on Mooney's. It'll stay here with UNLV. So, and again, it just goes back to what I was saying, where they have the chances to maybe pick up some extra wins, but then it's about picking up wins that will actually mean something to the resume. So if they can do something there, then okay, it gets interesting. But we'll see. They're not they're favored in probably none of those games outside of Mountain West play, and they have a daunting schedule. I can pull it up right now. Hear this. This is who they have to play out of conference. Every single game. USC at home. Iowa at home. Tennessee at home. Kentucky on the road. Iowa State on the road. Houston on the road. Seton Hall on the road. Creighton at home. Temple at home. That's their non-conference schedule.
Piss off.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Like I said, they have plenty of opportunities. I just don't know how. I just don't know if they'll be able to capitalize on any.
I can see them having maybe 1 or 2 sneaky wins as one of the upsets of the year.
Only game that I see them winning out of all of these is against Temple, and Temple, in my opinion, is like barely top 70.
I would say either Temple or Kentucky. I mean, they have a better, like a slightly chance to play competitive with Kentucky because Kentucky hasn't been all that for a long time.
I mean, yeah, but Kentucky recently was able to spend that NIL money. They have a team that towers over UNLV, if we're being honest. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know what to expect for Kentucky, but remember, they're going to Rupp Arena. Like if they were hosting Kentucky, then I understand, but you're going to Rupp. I just don't see it.
I'm wondering who they just absolutely just pissed off in the committee or the schedule guy who made their schedule, because this is absolutely atrocious. I mean, you got Tennessee, you got Creighton, you got Seton Hall on there, you even got Kentucky. It's just, that's insane.
It's a loaded schedule. I don't know. I guess looking at it, if there is a team that they do knock off at home that isn't Temple, it could be USC. USC, besides one player, I think they're good, but they're not great players. So we'll see. Maybe UNLV gets USC, but I just don't see it for anyone else. Maybe Seton Hall on the road. Seton Hall is actually comparable to UNLV in terms of the quality, but it's in Seton Hall. I don't know. Iowa State's honestly kind of mid, but they're playing in Ames. That's just a different ball game when you're going over there. But yeah, otherwise I just don't see it for anyone else. Iowa, Tennessee, nope. Kentucky, nope. Houston, nope. Creighton, nope.
Even Houston. Jesus.
Yeah. That's a tough schedule. Oh, what a 3.
Oh.
That's Fred Butler right there. He transferred over from Washington State. You know, I too would transfer over from Washington State if my coach was Riker.
Oh, Jesus. Forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Dude.
Yo. You see why I'm a little pessimistic about UNLV. If you can't finish chances like that at the rim, how am I supposed to believe that you can knock off a top team on the road? I just don't believe it.
Yeah, but I mean, wasn't there one time when Marshall defeated, was it Rutgers or was it West Virginia in regular season?
Oh, Rutgers, and they absolutely destroyed them. That was a quality team, though.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I mean, you can have the firepower after playing a good amount of teams and just absolutely upset one of those.
You're not wrong. Like, it does take just one bad shooting night to make it possible. Problem is, at that point, you just wonder if you're able to face a good team, but is very volatile and is very gettable at any point. So I don't know if any of those top teams are. Maybe like a Iowa could be potentially Tennessee, maybe. I maybe Houston. I don't see Creighton, but I don't know. For the most part, it's one of those things. UNLV will be an underdog in just about every single game, besides when they host Temple. So I don't know. Maybe it could happen for them. Maybe not. Meanwhile, for Pitt, what do they have? So they also go to Seton Hall for their first game. Then they host Missouri. They host your team, Oklahoma. Then they go to Iowa. And then they go to Weber State. Weber State's not that good anymore, unfortunately. And then ACC plays begins for them. Meanwhile, I've been looking at schedules and everything. This game's actually been kind of good. Oh my lord!
My God!
Oh my lord!
Do these UNLV players just have special ability to jump higher than what they could probably do?
I mean,
it's just a dunk up for this team.
Yeah, it's a dunk contest amongst the team here. Good shot right there by Schaefer. Well, traditionally UNLV has always been that team that's like how do I say it? Like very athletic. They can jump out the gym. They play fast, type of deal. So I'm just seeing vintage UNLV basketball here. Oh, big block. I mean, you know, it's good to see. You know, I'm happy to see UNLV be how do I say it, taken by someone that wants to rebuild this proud program. So I do wish them luck. I just don't know if any of it will actually be useful this season. But going forward, I mean, there's optimism. They got a nice young core, I think. Ooh, 3-ball. Oh, almost. But yeah, you got Pitt on your schedule, so this is your time to evaluate. Oh lord, oh my God, Schaefer, you can move like that, buddy? That's crazy.
I mean, as I'm watching Pitt here, I mean, it looks like they are very good on capitalizing when a team misses a shot because they get back down the court so quickly. It's the team that shot it just doesn't know how to get back so quick.
They have a lot of pace. Look at this, Waylon. Oh, and one.
Coast to coast.
Mr. Clean with the 3-point opportunity now.
I mean, his head is so shiny. The light is just blinding my eyes.
Cue the My Eyes meme from SpongeBob. Good old classic. Although, oh lord, my eyes when I saw that free throw attempt. Yikes!
Oh boy,
that was a terrible mid-range shot.
UNLV is going way too quick. They got to slow something down. I mean, they were doing hot in the first half, but they got to start slowing down those shots. They're just not giving them the ball now.
Honestly, just go back to dunking everything. It seems like that works the best. Almost turned over, Schaefer. That's a interesting shot attempt. Okay. This is a young front court for Pitt. They'll be around for a few seasons. At least it seems that way. Oh my gosh. Oh jeez. Yeah. Access denied, my friend. Here's Jameson.
I mean, at least Pitt finally decided to block one of the dunks.
Yeah. It took him a bit. That's no good. But yeah. Pitt's a team that I always wondered.
Oh my God!
Wait, that didn't go in?
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. Okay, replay. Replay. That looked like it went in. Wait.
I thought that went in.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Oh my God! Look. Would that be considered goaltending?
It literally went through. How did this not count? What?
This game never seems to not disappoint me.
Okay, hold up. Okay. Oh,
Okay, so
by the
that
way,
would be gold.
goaltending is turned off in this game just because it's just it's so broken. I can't do anything about it, so we just turn it off. And unfortunately, this is a valid block in this scenario, which I wish which I wish was not the case.
But honestly, look at the
It went.
vertical from both guys.
Let's see. Hold on, look at that. Yeah. Hold on. Is there? Was he? Where was he?
He's literally mounting him.
Oh, 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 buddy.
Literally, he looks like another Baldy over here. Looks like another nutsack to the UNLV player right here. It's just incredible.
You're not wrong. That's outrageous. This should have counted. How did this not count? I mean, it at least
At least he
counted.
got it back. Good
Um,
lord.
outrageous, bro. Do we have another mean game on our hands? I hope not.
Could possibly.
Hey, that's a good find. Schaefer's balling. 7 for 9. That's good. I'm impressed. Ooh. Hey, don't try that. Oh man. Now let me ask you this. So now that you have a much better schedule in terms of the quality. Ooh, nice three-pointer by Jamison. Who are you most excited to face in your non-conference part of your season?
I think I have two. It's Louisville and Villanova. I'm looking forward to go against those two teams. You know, I respect Cotton a lot. He's been a good coach for a very long time. And Louisville, you know, another young team. It's going to be both fast-paced court game, getting back down the court, and those two games I'm just looking forward to. And of course, you know, at Louisville and then home against Villanova. So maybe we'll pull out both wins, or maybe one and one against those two teams.
Yeah, no, I agree with you with that. Both Louisville and Nova are definitely quality opponents that are the types of teams that a team of your caliber should be facing, and I think it's one of those where you wish you had that before, you know, in the past couple of seasons, but you know, I'd say the most important time for that to happen is when your core is at its strongest. So, you know, perfect timing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we added a lot to our backfield. We added Creed. We added some fifth-year seniors to our team. We also added Pike to our starting lineup. So it's going to be interesting to see how Timmy Turner and Ryan Thomas, you know, work well together with Pike and see if they can make some magic with him.
Oh, for sure. I'd definitely be excited to see how all that works out. As halftime is here, I didn't even really realize how fast it all went by. Pitt's actually got a lead here by 7, 41-34. They have looked like the better team. If you remove those highlight dunks that UNLV has had, Pitt has definitely been the better team. But in regards to what you're saying, yeah, the collection of talent that you have, it's quite impressive to me, because you're able to balance it quite well, and you have enough veteran leadership on the team while you have also started to build for the future and going forward after this upcoming season. So I'm keeping a close eye on you guys. I'm very intrigued in the core that you're building for going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to actually get recognized in the committee and, not be pushed aside to, oh, that team or Oklahoma's just going to be another playing team. They win their first game, but then they absolutely get bounced in the first round. It's going to be nice to see what we can actually do then going into Big 12 play and just not absolutely just shit the bed.
For sure. Yeah, no, I totally get that. And currently in my preseason projections, I have you anywhere between a 5 and a 7 seed right now. So that's already a big step up from the past couple of seasons.
I mean, my number one circle game, my game that I've been focused on, is absolutely throttling Kansas. I cannot stand Coach Teeter when it comes to him and his basketball play. He is just, oh, look at me, I'm gonna call Benny, my son because I absolutely own him. Okay, you know what, buddy? It's time to end this crap. I'm tired of him, coming in Oklahoma or I going to Kansas and he absolutely beat me. He's only beaten me once. He can't even say anything. And I've been circling that game ever since. I know I have a rivalry with Oklahoma State and Texas, but you know what? Those two rivalries go back and forth. I'm more focused on Kansas.
Okay. I will also then follow suit, and I will circle whenever you have to go up against Kansas, because now that you have spoken about it, that intrigues me for sure. So okay, I'll be looking forward to it. As a neutral bystander who loves the game of college basketball. So, and I actually like the physical profile that you guys have. I believe that even though Kansas to me is a bit better, they have undeniable quality to the team. I think also at the same time it just takes a one bad matchup or just one bad collection of matchups, and it doesn't matter how good you can be if you don't match up well against a certain team, you're just not going to do well, and you could have the physical profile to have that advantage over them, in my opinion. So I am intrigued by it, because you got two guys in your front court who you're starting at the same time. They're both 7'2". Kansas's tallest starter is going to be 6'11" at the center spot. So I see what could happen for you guys. Oh, that's a beautiful finish.
Yeah, I mean, also with Kansas, I mean, it's a big question to see, like, after their first game here tonight, going back and forth with Maryland, is that really how their season's going to go? Is it going to be another nail-biter? I mean, Teeter still has a long way to figure everything out, but, you see your first game and you got to figure out some key pieces that you need to fix, or the game plan that you need to fix, because you can't have these, Maryland was up for a little bit and you come back in maybe 2 minutes, but, you, as Kansas, you're a blue blood team, and you just got to keep playing dominant basketball to maybe pose as a 1 or 2 seed.
I take these preseason games with a grain of salt. It's good to see good breakout performances, but there's always some sort of some sort of asterisk attached to those games, because it's just like, well, it's a warm-up. Everybody's getting back into gear, back into shape, just being fully ready for the upcoming season. And it could be an indicator. It could. Maybe. I'm not going to take much stock. I'm not going to put much investment into that stock, because I still believe Kansas is an excellent team that could very well find themselves in the Final Four. They have the talent to be able to do so. I just think Maryland played pretty well and won the second half despite losing the game eventually. You know, they impressed me, and I don't have really many questions about Kansas. I think their struggles are something that can get ironed out. Oh, that's a beautiful three. I am now intrigued by Maryland and what they could potentially do, because I think that they'll be a tournament team. I just don't think that they'll be anywhere near safe in regards to their spot in the tournament. So it's one of those things. You gotta give yourself a litmus test, either against some sort of like scrappy underdog, or you are the underdog and you just, you know, you gotta face a Titan. Kansas has a weird profile to me for a top team, admittedly, and I know that they can be really good, but like I said before, I think they could be one of the most volatile teams that are going to be at the top of the country, just because of their physical profile. So I don't know. You take it as you will, and maybe that helps you feel a bit more confident about that game when it rolls around. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, another interesting team to see play today was Indiana. You know, they have some older guys on that team, but they also have a lot of young guys on that team. And, you know, for them to put up a decent fight up against, who did they play? Villanova, with Cotton and his team, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what Indiana can do this season with Kale, and as they get ready for their season opener here soon.
Indiana's an interesting team to me. This is a team that's going to need some time to gel. 11 new faces in that locker room. The only returner was Aaron Smart, and he's not even a starter. He's still coming off the bench for them. I appreciate what every individual brings to the table, but they're going to need to figure out a way to bring it all together instead of just relying on solo performances to somehow be the one that ties up the overall team play. So they can figure that out. I think they could very well push for some sort of a top 3 finish in the Big Ten. It could definitely happen. I don't see it right now. I think they're more like top 5, and that's still a great spot for them. And I'm sure they'll take that, considering how challenging the Big Ten is. Simply put, they just gotta figure out the chemistry part and figure out how to best play together. If they figure that out, they'll be dangerous. But if not, you're going to see more games like that against Villanova, where it's like the talent feels isolated, while Villanova felt together and they played as one. So, high ceiling team, but also a floor lower than other people, or how do I say it? A floor lower compared to other people that also observe and give opinions about these teams. So that's my take on them. Oh Lord, what a dunk.
I don't know if it's just my end, but I have lost all visual of the game. Like, my Discord's not showing the game, and it says you've been disconnected. Sit tight, we're connecting you back.
It is showing me it's showing me something. It says your network connection may be causing a decrease in video and audio quality. Disable the stream. Hold up. Hold up, let me try something. I'm gonna real quick reshare my screen with you. Hopefully
There we
that
go.
works.
And there's the volume.
Yeah. Alright, there we go. Anywho. Yeah, that's my take on Indiana.
I mean, do they pose a threat to maybe not? I'm not saying Michigan because that's a long shot, but I mean, do you see them maybe posing a threat to another big dog in the Big Ten?
Oh, for sure. Everybody else not named Michigan. For sure. Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan State. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Again, it's just about figuring out how to put the talent together into one unit that can work together. That's the biggest thing, and I'll be paying close attention to that throughout the season, because that could be one of the better stories of the Big Ten, or it might be one of the more unfortunate stories where they just couldn't figure it out to the point that they could play at the elite level that could push a team like Michigan, and that could put them over the top of the Michigan States and Iowas and Wisconsins. So, but I definitely see them top 5. I just don't see any other Big Ten team besides those 4 being or having a higher ceiling than them. It's a good squad.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see how Michigan State does after losing a bunch of key players and losing their head coach, to see how they adapt to that.
They were able to splash the cash that they had in their NIL funds, and they got themselves actually a pretty dang good team. The coach aspect is definitely a real thing, and I do think it'll affect them in a way. But I guess we'll see how they fare. I kind of like what they have in terms of their profile, and they could definitely make some noise. But if you were to ask me if I liked this year's team or last year's MSU team, I'd pick the one from last year all day. That team was special. It's the team that brought Michigan State to its first Final Four in league history. So, by far. That's my opinion on Sparty, and I think that a top 4 finish is definitely in the cards for them. Could even be top 3. Meanwhile, we still have some basketball going on. 7 minutes left in the game, and Pitt and UNLV are still fighting. Still fighting, and here we go. Mr. Clean going back to the free throw line.
You know, it's interesting to see a lot of red in this stadium for UNLV being so far away from New York. I mean, it's great to see these fans traveling for this preseason matchup. You just don't see a lot of blue in there. It's just interesting.
Yeah, maybe the Pitt fans chose to wear white or something. I don't know. Honestly. I really don't know how to explain it. one of them things. But they for sure traveled well, and I mean, I don't blame them, because this is the first time there's been any optimism about this program in a very long time. So, you know, travel well. It's a good experience to be out in the Garden, I would say. Okay, well, Whalen, oh boy, no, couldn't finish that. It was a 62-58. Man, no separation between these two teams. And that looks like an illegal screen by Edwards. Highly unfortunate.
You know,
What
it's nice to see. I was gonna say it's nice to see these two teams, you know, keeping it close and not one-sided. You know, you think of Pitt, and you know they're part of the ACC, but you know they're not as dominant. But it's nice to see these two teams just go back and forth.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's you know, we love good basketball games. We love quality basketball games that are fun and that invoke intrigue. Like this invokes intrigue. You know, only being apart by 4 points with 6 minutes to go, that's something. That means something. You know, it's one of those things where you tell a casual if you're not here for these games, then you shouldn't show up at all for March Madness, type of deal. At least that's my take on it. But
I mean, it's a long shot. I mean, it's a high ceiling for at least maybe one of these teams to make the tournament. I mean, if not, then, you know, and you have a good record. I mean, if you look back at both of these teams' record, UNLV was what, 13 and 16, and Pitt was 14 and 15. If these two teams can take a big leap and maybe look forward to the tournament, then that is a big win for these two first-year head coaches.
oh, for sure. Oh, that's a lead shot. If anything, I'd be more comfortable picking UNLV to somehow make the tournament over Pitt, simply because, although they have that daunting non-conference schedule, I think that the Mountain West is not going to be nearly as challenging as the ACC will be. Or maybe I'm wrong, and maybe because of that, Pitt is the one that is able to sneak in. I'm not sure. Maybe I do consider Pitt here. Maybe. I like Pitt better as a team, anyways, compared to these two, even though they're down right now. But that's just me. But what other teams do you want me to evaluate that are kind of on your mind?
I want you to talk about the American League. And you know, those teams in that conference, you know, what team do you maybe see getting a high overall seed in the tournament?
So American, really there are only 4 teams. Oh, jeez, what a slam. There are really only 4 teams from that conference that I give, you know, the chance of making the tournament. 3 of them will for sure make it, in my opinion. That's a beautiful 3. I'm talking about Houston, Cincinnati, and Memphis. There's a 4th team now that, although they'll present a challenge, they'll be a little competitive, I just don't see them doing enough to be able to make the tournament, and I'm talking about Temple. But this is honestly an easy question to answer, because Houston is still the best team in the American. So you're talking about a team with the how do I say it? The team that has high seed potential. It's absolutely Houston. Cincinnati, they performed pretty well today. Kind of slipped up at the end, yet still won. I don't know about them. Memphis, we still have yet to see them in their new look. Because they lost quite a bit from their team last year. I'm not sure. And I know we still have yet to see Houston, but I'm more confident on in who they have personnel-wise compared to the other 2 teams mentioned. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with Houston on this one. That's my pick for that. Meanwhile, here it's only a 3-point game, but 2.5 minutes to go between these two. Definitely still fighting it out. That's a beautiful 2. UNLV trying to get the W here. They're getting close. But there's still life for Pitt as they turn it over, unfortunately. That's a bad decision by Elijah Jameson. Shaw moving it around quite well. I believe that's Speaker. Nah, probably not Speaker. And the moves down low, no go. Under 2 minutes now. Pitt's got to score. Put something up. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. Dang. Still only a 3-point game. And deep 2, man. You know, for everything Pitt is doing, UNLV got an answer. That's something. And, oh, that is highly unfortunate for Pitt. And finishing through the contact as well. Oh, boy.
You know, if I'm Pitt, I need to take a timeout. You know, you only got 1:10, and you're not able to get through this aggressive defense from UNLV. I mean, UNLV's forcing the turnovers and getting the blocks that they need.
Oh my gosh. Monster block right there. Deep 2 doesn't hit. I think they needed points right there. They didn't get it. I think it's GG's personally. So okay, you know what? Those highlight dunks that we had close to the beginning of the game, so they were not for nothing. Good to see.
Well, they were definitely for something, and you know, this was a good game to end the night with. I mean, you know, both first-year head coaches. I mean, we can talk about UNLV. I mean, they were able to keep on the gas. You know, they let Pitt, you know, come back in the game and take over some parts of the game. But UNLV never quit. They never died. They never gave up, and they were able to capitalize on a decent, solid, okay Pitt team. But, you know, you got to take this win and you got to feel good going into regular season because, you know, if you think about something else, your mind's going to slip, your team's going to fall, and that's what you don't need to be happening as your new UNLV team. You know, you got to keep on the gas. You got a hard non-conference schedule, and you got to play aggressive against those teams to maybe pose a threat to getting into March Madness tournament.
Yeah, we'll see how both these teams fare in, you know, when they have to claw through those schedules that they have. Both have challenges along the way. UNLV with that daunting non-conference slate, Pitt being in the ACC mix, already a challenge as is. So. And they also have a few pretty tough non-conference bouts as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
You know, for Pitt, you know, if you're not as strong in the non-conference game, the ACC isn't as strong as a conference. So that's where Pitt can take advantage and, you know, sneak a couple good games in there, and they could possibly make it in as a play-in team. Maybe.
If they're able to find that sort of success, then for sure. But definitely easier said than done, especially for a team that is trying to now establish itself as something more than just a competitive bottom feeder of a conference. I was way off. Holy moly. Okay.
Oh, good lord.
That's outrageous. And Elijah Jameson is done. 18 points. It's a good outing for him. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, look. At the very least, the fan bases of Pitt and UNLV have finally can look forward to being competitive and at least having some sort of chance of being able to play in March Madness. Yeah, that's a terrible miss. And there you go. That is it. UNLV closes out the first night of the Legends Showcase with the dub over Pitt. And Oliver Batts had a great game.
You know, yeah, and Oliver Batts is going to be a guy to be looking for during the season. You know, if he's going to play like this, you know, he's going to be a star, and he could be a sneaky pick in the LBA draft if that ever comes back, and he's going to be something interesting to look out for during the season.
I agree indeed with that assessment, as he has a year of eligibility remaining and he's spending it in Vegas. Well, that said, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in tonight, and also if you were here earlier as well for the other games, thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the return of college hoops to Legends after a lengthy off season. Tomorrow we will resume games at 4 o'clock. And I'll just I'll quickly read off the schedule that we have for tomorrow as I pick it up right here. So we first start with Penn State versus Ole Miss. And then at 5:30 approximately, we're going to then have Colorado versus number 11 Wisconsin. Then at 7 p.m. approximately, number 15 Houston versus number 10 Xavier. And then right after that, at approximately 8:30 p.m., number 1 Creighton versus number 9 Duke. Approximately 10 p.m., Missouri versus Rutgers. And then at 11:30 p.m. approximately, number 3 Michigan versus number 21 Oklahoma. We got a stacked slate for tomorrow. It should be a fun one. I hope you all return for it, especially you, good sir, for your game especially.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the first day of the preseason showcase. You know, you guys watch the videos, you know, you see them, and you know, watch the games, and you're just excited to see what's going to be coming forward to when we reach the March Madness. You know, when we reach the conference games, when we reach conference tournaments, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to prevail and who's going to be a dominant team this year. You know, question is are we going to have another Big East team go back-to-back national championship, or is there going to be another big top candidate for a national championship? But you know what? Buckle up, grab your popcorn, because this is going to be a great season.
It absolutely will be. I believe that the best is yet to come, especially with the continuation of the tournament being increased in regards to its play-in field. More teams to track that are good enough to be able to play in the tournament, and yeah, just so much more that will be on the way. But before that, we still got another 4 days of games in this Legends Showcase, and then after that, it's onwards from there. Just being ready for the regular season once it is ready to start. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope y'all have a good night, and hopefully see y'all tomorrow when we start up again at around 4 p.m. Eastern. Take care.